Hello, today this collage of the week, I'm going to be talking about a piece that I put together called, as you can see with the text, it's called Commie Jesus. Now, I've done a few that are similar to that, one where it had like a picture of him with like the Soviet rays coming out, coming out behind him. I'll see if that's actually, no, that's not on this year's one, so I'm not exactly sure what year I did that one, but you have this version here with the Soviet flag behind it, and you have this version here, which is like a version without with a plain, sorry, a transparent PNG background and hammer and sickle behind. Just so, and this one's more really ideally for t-shirts. This one, you could say it's more of a poster. And the idea behind this is not to have a poke and a laugh at what Jesus is credited to have said, assuming he existed. Because for the most part, the stuff that people usually make out what he said isn't really, as far as morals go, that bad. Um, but the idea, and that's part of the idea, in the fact that especially in America, you have this relatively recent phenomenon of Christian nationalism. By relatively recent, I mean recent in decades and maybe a century or something. Um, and these ideas of the where you bootstrap the conservatism behind it, the selfishness, and it's completely 100% at odds as to what Jesus is supposed to have said. And it's been made out quite a few times about that, how also how these people are usually very anti-immigration, anti-asylum, seek not helping us anti-helping asylum seekers. When one of the first things that happened after Jesus was supposed to have been born is they had to flee and find asylum in Egypt because someone was out to murder them all. So that is this is these kind of levels of irony that you can't buy, and that's really what this is about, because a lot of the things that they say, some people complain about socialism, and well, it's really more socialism than communism. It's just for some level of Americans, socialism and communism are the same thing. And so, anyone talks about sharing or anything like that, they get called a commie. Well, this is exactly what the teachings. You talk about some of the things that go on, ideals of socialism. Now, I'm not saying about what necessarily what actually happens in practice, but on paper, the ideals of are basically what Americans call communism, and these are some of the things that Jesus talks about, saying, it's harder for a rich man to enter heaven than it's easy for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter heaven. People giving away all their possessions and helping others. Um, the idea of the the poor woman who gave her last penny actually gave more than the rich person that gave, saying using modern monetary terminology. Say if a rich person gave £1,000, and the poor lady gave, sort of her last like pound. In the eyes of what he was supposed to be talking about, she gave more because it was real charity. It was giving everything you had, that kind of thing, and that's the kind of thing I'm putting across there. It's not so much to mock Christians, mainstream Christians, or what I would call real Christians, decent people. It's more to mock the Christian nationalist types. Um, so, and they would. Ordinarily in the past, actually, they would hate to be associated with Russia and the Soviet Union. Nowadays, who knows? There has been a bit of collusion with Russia still. So, Let me know what you think, whether you like these pieces. Um, the other piece I could maybe look and find, but um, I'll have to pause this and go through my file structure again. I mean, I could actually go and find it. Just give me, I'll just pause this and I'll go and see if I can find the actual original one. And I'm back. So here are a couple of others. I don't know why I didn't colour this in red when I did it. I could actually colour it in yellow actually, but I might just do it all in red so you've got the black and red um, idea. But here I put the hammer and sickles in, the heart of Jesus type thing. And this picture of Jesus came from uh, from a um, from actually a font. So this why it looks a bit rough. But it does have that kind of woodcut feel to it, so I quite like that. And I have another one here, and that's a bit more where I've done the same thing, or similar thing. The hammer and sickle is in the heart of Jesus, but this is more of a um, detailed, and it's a black and white picture. I didn't colour them all in red there, so it makes sense then for that text to be white. But in the future, I may see how it might look with that all in red. So you just got the two colours. So I'm not sure if that will takes out of it at all. Never occurred to me when I made it. So those are the four versions of that piece of artwork. So let me know what you think, and whether you appreciate the humour behind it, and the pairing of with Soviet style iconography. Um, my description has my link tree in it, my link tree in it, which has my merch links and my socials. And I shall speak to you soon. Thank you.